What's the craziest dare you did or seen someone do in a game of truth or dare?
Story 1.
In 6th grade, my girlfriend dared me to kiss her best friend. I went for it, and she got angry, saying it was a test, and I failed. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Your girlfriend should have picked a bench warmer if she couldn't handle the playa. My high school GF asked me to kill Duck Mary. Her sister, her friend. I told her that obviously I'd marry her and wouldn't want to kill her sister, so I'd kill the friend she wasn't as close with. Her response, "You'd have us with my sister?" She was legitimately angry. LOL. Speaking as a woman, there's no winning there. Find a more secure woman. I'd ask that to my man, but I wouldn't get offended at the answer. We're a bit unhinged, though, or super confident in our relationship. 10 years. Probably both, to be honest. Edit. He refused to play. Second edit. After decompressing, he was like, "All right, I have an answer." My prompt was best friend sister, others still loved, but less close sister, and myself. Killed the less close sis, ducked the best friend sister, and married me. Fist pump, I truly thought he'd go the other way, but still marry me. Then it was my turn. I took Never Gonna Let's advice and said I would pick him for all three and make it really a wild night, paraphrasing. He cried laughing. Win, win, win. Love to make him laugh.
Story 2.
I know a 21-year-old girl who was on a break from her 21-year-old boyfriend. Not broken up, but on a break. She was also really mad at him. Her shit-stirring best friend dared her to give her boyfriend's 18-year-old brother head. And she did. They were both pretty drunk when it happened. She took a picture of it and sent it to the boyfriend. For some reason, she thought this would merely upset him, not spell the end of their relationship. He ended up cropping his brother's face out, printing it out, making copies, and leaving them all over their lecture hall right before class. It was very ugly, obviously. Edit. The person who took or sent the picture was the girlfriend giving the job, not her friend.
Story 3.
It was only crazy in context, but my two-faced friend dared the guy I liked, who she also liked, to kiss the prettiest girl there. She got the idea after seeing the perks of being a wallflower. And I'm sure her logic was that my dude wasn't going to choose me because we were super close friends and he didn't want to make it awkward. However, unbeknownst to her, he and I had just started dating. We just hadn't told anyone. So he just looked at me, smiled mischievously, and went in for a full kiss with tongue with me that shocked everyone. This is my favorite story here.
Story 4.
We were at the dorms and dared our friend, who had just gotten accepted to a culinary school, not even taken a lesson yet, to make us a fancy dinner with the dorm room appliances, toaster over, George Foreman grill, hot plate. He got up and left. We assumed it was because he was tired of us always making fun of him, wanting to be an Iron Chef. He watched it all the time. Nope. His base came back with groceries and made us a ducking short rib dish that I still think about to this day. And this was 22 years ago. All the other replies are gross or shocking, but this one is entirely wholesome. Is this friend a culinary professional now? They are. After finishing, they worked in a restaurant in a high-end hotel here in LA. Then he moved to Vegas and worked there for close to a decade. After, he came back to LA to be near his family, did the food truck and pop-up thing for a bit, then eventually started his own catering business.
Story 5.
Drunk truth or dare Jenga in college. Girl pulled a piece that the dare was prank call your parents. It was like 3 a.m., and she called them and only repeated the phrase "peace in the Middle East" over and over until they hung up. But then they showed up at the dorms the next day to take her home, thinking she was either on drugs or had snapped. Small town, super religious family, so I was drunk and it was funny wasn't flying with them. I had a party at my parents' house in college, and a friend of mine from the dorms wanted to come. He told his parents he was going, and they were not happy, but the dude was 20 at the time, so he came anyway. The next day we get back to campus, and there are cops canvassing the place with his photo because they had reported him missing the night before. I know how that feels, and it sucks. I went to college back before cell phones were a thing, so we had a shared landline in our dorm room. My parents were fond of calling at random times. So, of course, as luck would have it, they called while I was out at my first college party. Roomie, of course, told them straight up I was out at a party and not likely to be back before late. At 5 a.m. the following morning, the phone started ringing. It was, of course, my parents angry. I was wasting their hard-earned money by going out partying. At the time, I was too cowed by them to even think now would be a great time to remind them I was on a full-ride scholarship earned by my hard work and great test marks. They informed me they were going to be calling me every half hour for the rest of the day, and I had better answer immediately, since I should definitely be spending the Saturday at my desk in the room studying, as well as the rest of the weekend. After that, I was grounded for 2 weeks, and they intended to enforce it by calling at random times. If I ever even once failed to answer, I was assured they would immediately drop everything to drive to the school to make me come back home by force if necessary. They spent the rest of my college years trying to catch me out. If they called when they thought I should be in my dorm room and no one answered, they would start calling around. They called the front desk at my dorm, the main campus offices, security, my RAs and TAs, and anyone else they could think of. I once got called into the chancellor's office and instructed very tersely I needed to do whatever necessary to keep my parents fully apprised of my schedule. I mean, how dare I decide to attend a hastily put together study group for a major exam? I've been estranged from my parents for years now because they simply refuse to acknowledge any boundaries and insist I need them to tell me how to run my life. Going no contact with them has been the best decision of my life.
Story 6.
9th grade. Standard hormonal teens just doing dumb teen shit. Kiss him, touch her job, flash us for 2 seconds, slap his base, etc. One of the girls decides to just go all in and dares one of the more wild guys to duck his water bottle. He says sure, if they can get him hard. Girls flash him. Naturally, he gets hard, with his soft sick already in the water bottle. He begins to try to duck it and finds it stuck. The girls think it's funny. The guys understand the severity of the situation. He begins to sob, like hysterical. Are they going to have to cut my stick off? Sobbing. This was pre-cell days, barely. So I ran to the nearest classroom, because of course this was happening on school grounds, explained to a teacher what was going on. 911 was called. Lots of people got suspended. Me and one other kid dodged a bullet by being the responsible ones by running for help, so we didn't get in any trouble. But his stick stayed attached, and he immediately changed from one of the school duck around to an incredibly devout churchgoer.
Story 7.
17-year-old me in high school. Yes, this was in Florida. My friend, let's call him Dan, decided he was going to be a professional stuntman in the future. Dan insisted he knew the proper technique to be hit by a car and take 0 damage. He knew I had a beater truck, so the chance of any damage to the vehicle was minimal. Long story short, he sprained his wrist and bruised his shoulder getting hit in the school parking lot. I still have the recording, no, I'll never share it, and I really don't understand how he didn't break his neck, thank God. 2 years later, he asked me to try again and completely shattered my windshield.
If you enjoy our channel, We'd love to invite you to become a member. Joining is easy. Just click the join button on our channel homepage or beneath any of our videos. Your support means the world to us, and as a member, you'll gain access to exclusive perks and content. Thank you for being part of our community. We look forward to welcoming you as a member soon.